Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're doing a two-team college basketball parlay. It may be cold outside, but our promo code is HOT for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. Headed out west to the Pac-12, where Arizona takes on Arizona State. Arizona favored -2.5. The total is 153.5. We've got Craig Trapp joining us to break this one down for us. Craig, who do you like?
Well, you see this line, a rivalry game. You always look at a home underdog no matter what in college basketball, but in a rivalry game, even more so. And then you see a team that's 1-9 against the spread, Arizona State. So it kind of jumps off the page that it's like, why isn't
Right.
Arizona State getting a little more points? But when you look into the numbers, and if you look back and if you know anything about Arizona State this year, they've been injuries and COVID have really affected this team. I mean, they probably had 4 games this year that they probably would have won, would have been flipped if they had their full squad. And, obviously that doesn't happen and you still would have had to play those games. But I think that's the reason why they're 1-9 against spread and just 4-6 straight up. So now we see a team that's healthier in a rivalry game as an underdog. And hey, Arizona's not world beaters against the spread. They're 5-8 against the spread. And, everybody wants to beat up on Sean Miller because let's remember Sean Miller was caught on tape, supposedly bribing, all that stuff. So the hammer hasn't come down on him or Arizona yet, but I think it's going to. So I think in a rivalry game, give me the home underdog, Arizona State plus the 2.5 here.
All right, and next up, we've got UCLA and Cal. UCLA favored -9. The total is 136.5. You got UCLA is 11-2, 9-4 against the number, and then Cal is 7-8, 6-8 against the spread. Who do you like?
Well, we haven't seen UCLA play a ton of road games. 2-1, and actually one of those wins was in overtime that they got the cover against that Arizona State team we just were talking about, and they were really decimated with injuries and COVID in that game. So UCLA got a good win, but it was against not a full roster. I think it's a ton of points against a Cal team that, yeah, they're not great, but you don't have to be great to cover 9 points. In-state rivalry here. At least Cal's decent at home, 5-2 at home, 4-3 against the spread, and I think they do just enough to cover this. I know Coach Cronin has done a good job. I mean, that team is going to be, I think, solid come the end of the year, come tournament time. But the one thing he's never been great at is winning by huge margins. Even back when he was here in town in Cincinnati, it was one thing I didn't like about him is that Coach Cronin would just kind of do enough to win the game, not enough to cover the bigger point spreads when he had those good teams. I think that's the case here. I think Cal gets the cover, but does lose outright.
All right, that's going to do it for our two-team parlay. Craig's taking both of the underdogs with Arizona State getting 2.5 and Cal getting 9. So that's going to do it for our two-team parlay. As always, great stuff from Craig Trapp. Craig, thanks for joining us.